So, I'm excited to finally talk about Jessica Jones, but before I do, I have been waiting. How many videos have I been waiting? I've been waiting about 10 videos to do this. Finally getting rid of that stupid beanie and showing you this. Finally, I got a haircut. Yes, just excited, so excited that I finally got a haircut. Anyway, moving on to this show. I love this show. I like Daredevil. This is kind of nostalgic for me, even though it didn't come out that long ago. All the characters in this show are freaking fantastic. The writing for all the characters are great. A big surprise to me was that Luke Cage was in it. I don't know that much about Luke Cage. Well, now I do after seeing his show. But at the time, I only had heard whispers of Luke Cage and that he was bulletproof, and that's pretty much it. And I'd seen him in cartoons and stuff. So I was excited going in to watch this show, finally getting to see a live-action version of Luke Cage. But I had no idea who Jessica Jones was. I did not know who Jessica Jones was. I never even heard of her before. So her getting her own show, I wasn't worried because I didn't know anything. And I was just going into this show wild, knowing nothing. I was just, everything that happened was wildly unexpected. Like, the characters in this show are very human. And that is the best part of this. They're not superheroes like you usually get in the movie side of the MCU. But these characters are very human, and their motivations are pretty much all the motivations that all the characters have make sense. I completely understand and connect with all the characters in this show. That is not something that's easily achieved. And one thing I'm a huge fan of is dark stories. Now, I don't like to go too dark. I don't like stories, TV shows, or movies that are too dark. I like some restraint. And this show obviously has some restraint, but it's not afraid to go the dark route, and it does. Right away from the first episode, there is some dark shit that goes down, and it's great. What I like about this story is that it's not your average superhero story. This is very unique in a sense that it doesn't tell, like Daredevil, for example, takes place in the same universe as all these other characters, and it was very grounded, but it still felt like a superhero story, and it was very much a superhero story. This show, which is a Marvel Netflix show like Daredevil, does not feel like a superhero story. This just doesn't. This feels like it honestly just feels like a chick just living her life, going through some tough shit. It was just so well done, and and a big contributing factor to it just feeling like a normal story is that this is told in a very unique way. It's a survivor story. Have I already said that? I'm pretty sure I already said that. I don't know if I already said that. I can't believe I just forgot that. Look, I don't know if I said that or not. I may have to rewind the footage, but I like this because it's told like a survivor story. That's why I like it. It's very investing and intriguing. And also another part that has to come with it because Jessica Jones herself is a PI. So there's a lot of investigating that goes on. So this show is expected to have some mystery and intrigue, and this show does have it. I was, a lot of the time, very intrigued. I mean, the whole mystery part of her, like the cases that she would take on, I found very interesting, especially her own personal case, trying to find and stop Kilgrave. All of it, personal cases or professional cases, were very interesting. I was just intrigued in a show that was meant to be intriguing. It did its job well, in other words. So, Kilgrave, a villain that I've never heard of before, and still to this day haven't heard anything about other than this show. I know he's in the comics, but that's all I really know else about him. He's great. He continues to be one of the... I hope he comes back for Season 2, honestly. He may have already come back for Season 2, I'm not completely sure. But he was amazing, and he's up there with I've come up with a list, honestly. Like that, Marvel only have like 4 good villains so far, and it's Loki, Fisk, Ultron, and now Kilgrave. Still don't know about Thanos yet. Really excited for that, but I just love Kilgrave in this. He's so good. So there is this plot point that is explored in the show. What happens in the show, and major spoilers in case you haven't seen it, Kilgrave manages to get Jessica to live with him. Kilgrave manages to get her to live with him because he confesses his love for her. And what ends up happening after that is they go and kind of save a family. Like, they kind of team up for like one episode. And the revelation in this episode is that Kilgrave could be a force used for good. He could be a good guy if Jessica Jones would teach him and guide him and stay with him. And she herself realizes this and goes, oh shit, what do I do? Now, there is a complicated issue with this whole thing. He mind-controlled a certain girl close to her called Hope to kill her parents. So this girl, Hope, killed her parents because she was compelled to by Kilgrave. And now Jessica is just grief-stricken because she feels like it's her fault. She was going to walk away but didn't. She wants to get Hope out of prison now because obviously when you kill your parents, whether you're compelled or not to, you're going to go to jail. So she's trying to prove her innocence and get Kilgrave locked up. So really, like, it comes down to your personal preference. Like, would you want Hope to be proven innocent and set free, and Kilgrave put in jail, or would you want to, or would you be willing to risk that one person in order to more than likely save hundreds of lives by having someone with super strength and someone with mind control team up for the betterment of the world? It really comes down to what you want. And I would have liked the second option. I would have liked to have seen that explored a little more. I'm not saying fully, but in the end, Hope dies. And that moment, I will admit, is very sad. That's very emotional. But still, she dies, so there's no point. There is really no point in trying to beat Kilgrave. You could have just used him for good, and he was more than willing to as well. Either way, that's just my personal opinion of how I would have liked to see the situation unfold. Anyway, this is a great show. Yeah, this is a great show. I was just really concerned because this show gets really bloody sometimes. And there's a lot of fucking, a lot of sex in this thing. Anyway, besides that, this is a great show. Honestly, this is a toss, like, it's not a toss-up, but this comes really damn close to Daredevil Season 1. This show, I just love it so much. It's one of my favorites. Like, not just of the MCU, but it's one of my favorite shows of any show. Alongside The Walking Dead, The Flash, Daredevil, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I love this show, and I cannot wait to see more of her and her story and whatever else goes on. Anyway, that's it for this review. I'll see you in my next review. I honestly don't know which one that will be, but I will see you in it. Goodbye.